start of the school year and everything seems to get super busy. What up though, students, educators, and families? I am Lindsay Holmes and you are tuned in to School Matters. In this video, I will share with you 5 tips to organize your school life and your family life for this upcoming school year. And you can help us by clicking the like, subscribe, and notification bell down below so we can expand the reach of our teach. Number 1 is a bedtime. A great productive day starts off with a proper amount of sleep. And in order to be high energy, alert, and engaging, it's so important for you to have the proper amount of sleep. I have seen the difference between a student who's well rested as opposed to a student who was up on the phone all night playing video games. If you want your student to be productive in school, behaviorally, emotionally, and academically, that starts with an appropriate bedtime. Number 2 is calendar out the school year. At the beginning of the school year, you can request an academic calendar. Many schools send that information out to their parents. If you don't have that, you can request that calendar from your school. And you can start planning family events way ahead of time with everything in mind. There are times where there are changes in the school schedule, but in my experience, that has rarely happened. The school year is super long and it could be arduous at points and overwhelming to look at. But when you calendar out the school year, it allows you to chunk each month, each week into digestible pieces. Another benefit to calendaring out the school year with your family calendar as well as the school calendar and merging those two things together is that you get to see the peak moments of your year. These are times maybe for your student where there's state tests, report card conferences, a performance, major projects that are due, maybe a track meet or something like that happens all in the same time. And so you can get an early start on planning to ensure that you have the time, space, and resources to manage those very busy moments throughout the school year. It also allows you to identify the moments where it's not so busy and you can start to plug in and fill in different activities in those moments where it's not as intense. Another important time to schedule during the school year to help organize your family and navigate school is quiet hours, study time, homework time, what have you. These academic habits are so important in order for students to be able to effectively navigate school, whether that's elementary school, middle school, high school, or even college. That doesn't necessarily mean that this time has to be used for homework. Quiet hours can serve as a benefit to the parents in the home as well as the students. This is a time where everybody can separate and focus on what they need to do in order to successfully sustain for the rest of the school year. So this time could be used for a student to organize their book bag, complete their homework, silent reading time, to reflect on their day. I'm not necessarily going to say the amount of time that works for the family. It could be somewhere between 15 minutes to a 90-minute period, whatever works for your family. But I think it's so advantageous to set aside focused time that you will have individually to ensure that you are successful. Number 4 is getting contacts in order, especially again in those high intensity moments throughout the school year and you have so many questions about so many different things. It's beneficial to get your educators' contact information and their preferred method of contact at the start of the school year. And particularly when they give out their syllabus or the introduction to their class, they'll tell you here's what I do. I am a science teacher. Here is why you should contact me. Some teachers feel comfortable exchanging their contact information, whether that's a work number, with their families, whereas some teachers are more on the email side of things. Be that as it may, having that contact information is super important and helpful for you in those high intensity moments. Number 5 is organized paper flow. Hecticness and anxiety could all be avoided if there's a system in the home to say, here's where when you come home, if you have a notice, you have a permission slip, you have anything, put it here. This is the designated spot. As a parent, I'm gonna go to the spot to see what my children have dropped off. I'm gonna take these papers and I'll be able to go over and prepare for them to either turn them in the morning or sign something, whatever it is. That's a system where you know where to go all of the time. Your students know where to put papers as opposed to putting them all over the house or wherever you direct them in the moment and you totally forget. So those are the 5 tips that I wanted to share with you about organizing family and school life. All of these things may not work for your family, but if you found anything to be helpful, or if you have a way to improve any of these tips or tricks, or want to share some of your own, please add them in the comment section below. On that note, school's out. See you next video.